Hello guys, hope all of you are doing well. So as usual, I come again with a new topic in SuccessFactors today. And as you already seen from the thumbnail, we are going to discuss on MDF UI rules today. But before proceeding on the topic, I like to request you all, please pause the video for a while, hit the red subscriber button if you have not done that yet, because if I going for a new upload, you can get the notification at the soonest. And if you want to check my previous uploads, which I'm very much sure that those videos will be helpful for you to know more about the success factors, and those will be helpful for you for the project perspective as well. So if you want to check those, you can find those in my playlist where I have uploaded all my previous uploads in the same place, and you can get the playlist in these top right corner with the icon. You can, if you just click that, you can find the playlist and you can watch the previous uploads as well. So let's move on to this on today's topic. First of all, let me just clear you one thing, that if why we need the UI rules, basically specifically for MDFs. So if there is such a requirement like that, that you dynamically we want to set the visibility of any field or set the value of any field based on the value of another field, then we can to do that, most of the times we used to write the business rules. And to do that, basically uh, we need to have we need to use these three specific values. We need to know what is the current value of the field, what is the previous value of the field, and we need to have the visibility status to set is that field going to be visible or not visible, uh, based on another field's value. So to write a business rule, need to have these three fields at least. And if we consider the employee objects, not the MDF, I'm not talking about the MDF first, I'm talking about the employee objects, that means the generic objects. For an example, your job information object, or personal information object, or employment details object, and these kind of objects which is available in the configure business objects, that tool. So if we want to set such kind of dynamic visibility of any field based on another field's value for the employee objects, we can easily do that. And to do that, how why I'm telling we can easily do that, because when we are going to write the business rule, there we can find that employee base objects model object is available. For an example, if we want to set such kind of rule for job information, we can find job information model, that base object is available. If we want to do for personal information, we can find personal information model, that kind of model base object is available. And in those model base object, we can find value. Yeah, value is also available, that means the current value, that field, previous value, that is also available in those model objects, and visibility, that field is also available. But if we want to apply the same kind of rule for the MDFs, existing MDFs or custom MDFs, how to do that? Because for those MDFs, these kind of model based object is not available to write the business rules. And as the model based objects are not available, so these kind of fields, value, or that means the current value, previous value, or visibility, these kind of fields are not available for those objects. So how to set such kind of a dynamic visibility for the MDFs, existing MDFs or custom MDFs, whatever you can say. So to implement such thing, we need to use the MDF UI rules. So there MDF UI rules playing a crucial role. So our today to demonstrate that, today I am picking up a simple scenario, and our today's scenario should be hide or display a certain field based on value of another field in MDF. So how to configure that? Let's talk about the configuration steps first. So configuration step. The first step in this configuration, that we need to create one custom MDF as per requirement, or you can apply the same for the existing MDF as well. Second step is we need to create one custom MDF UI, because as we are going to discuss about the MDF UI rules, obviously we need to have one custom MDF UI for that. Step 3, create UI rule. We are going to demonstrate that in the system as well. Create UI rule and assign the rule to specific field in on change event. That is step 3. Now step 4, assign the custom UI as the default screen of the MDF. That is very important. And step 5 is optional. If you want to populate that custom object in the employees view, then you need to go to configure people profile tool, and there you need to create one block and need to assign your custom MDF UI there. So these are the steps. Now let's go to the system and check how it works. So I logged into the system and I'm going to configure object definition tool first, where we can configure one custom MDF object, or existing MDF objects you can update the settings as well. So here let's go to object definition. In object definition I have already created one custom MDF called library access details. Let's open this object. Yeah, so in this object cast library access, this is the code of that MDF. You can see here the default screen I have not maintained yet, and if we go down we can see I have maintained the external code as user ID, because I'm targeting to display these library access MDF into employees view. That's why I maintain the subject user field as user ID as well. If you want, if you are interested how to display the custom MDF objects into employees view, you can check my previous uploaded video as well. I have explained in detail. Now in this object, if you notice there are 4 fields we have maintained. One is the user ID, another is the library access ID. These 2 fields are the mandatory fields. Employment cost, employment type as well, this field is also one mandatory field, and we have maintained one pick list for that. And another field is cost contract end date. So if we go and check, library emp type is the pick list maintained there. Let's go and check what's there in that pick list first. To check there, I'm going to open a new tab. There, let's go to configure object definition, because this pick list I have maintained is the MDF pick list. So here in the drop down, let's choose pick list and put our pick list name as a pick list. So here you can see 2 values are available, permanent and temporary, for employment type for this field. So we are targeting, when we are choosing the permanent employment type to maintain the value of that particular MDF, then this field contract end date, this field should not be visible. And when we are going to maintain the employment type as contract, then contract end date, this field should be visible in that case. Now let's check first how the fields looks like. Let's go to manage data. And library access details. So right now if I choose permanent, then also the contract end date is visible, and if I choose temporary, then also this field is visible. So here to change the visibility dynamically based on the value of employment type, this field, we need to apply one MDF UI rule. So let's create that. To create MDF UI, we need to go to one tool called manage configuration UI. Here create new Base object of this UI should be library access details, our MDF, and object ID I'm putting library UI. So the fields which are enabled in that MDF, those are coming in these UI. You can see. Let's save it first. Now here you can see two options: edit properties and manage UI rules. So in manage UI rules, let's click it and try to create one UI rule here. So I'm putting the UI rule as rule 1, rule name as rule 1. In if clause, I'm putting employee type value if it is permanent, then set contract end date, this field's visibility equals to boolean no. Else we can set the visibility of contract end date boolean as yes. Let's save the rule. So the rule 12 is created now, and we need to assign this rule in the employment type field, because based on the value of these fields only the contract end date going to be populated dynamically. So here on change UI rules we need to assign that rule 12. Let's save it. Now let's save this. Copy the UI ID, go to configure object definition again, take action, make correction, and in the default screen save this rule, save this UI. So this UI is now assigned to library access details, this custom MDF, and let's save the changes. Now these changes are saved now. So now let's go to I like to assign these custom MDF into employees view as well. So let's go to configure people profile. So in configure people profile, let's create one custom block. So add new section. The title I'm putting library access. Subtitle I'm putting library access details, and here okay, library access details, and here we this is the one, live profile MDF information. So this one here, for this is regarding the MDF UIs which are created, so we can assign it, and from the MDF screen we can choose library UI, the UI we created for the custom MDF, and let's save this. So it is saved now. Now the last part is remaining. We need to provide the proper role-based permission for this newly created custom block for in the employee view permissions. Let's go to permission role. system admin, I have this permission role for this user. So let's go to permission, then within permission employee views, library access. This is the custom block we have created. I provide the view permission here for this and finish it. Save changes. Okay, changes are now saved. Now for it is testing time. For testing, I'm just booking one employee, Mark Burke. So here you can see the MDF block we have created in via configure people profile. It is available here. Library access. Let's go there. There is no data maintained right now. Let's try to maintain one data. So library access ID, I'm putting something test 123, and you can see employment type and contract end date, both fields are visible here. So I'm choosing now permanent employee. When I choose permanent employee, contract end date, that field is not visible right at this moment. But if I choose temporary, that field is now visible. So this is how we can maintain the visibility dynamically for any MDF object via MDF UI rules. So hope you enjoy this video and something new we learned today. So keep watching and don't forget to subscribe, like, share, view and comment. Please, you are welcome to comment, give your feedbacks so that I can improve my videos and you can provide the new topics as well on which I can work in future and try to help you out. So keep watching. Happy learning. Thank you. Bye.